The story of the fox began on a whim. In the foothills of Yellowstone Mountains, at the end of a narrow gravel road, I built a hobbit hole of a cottage, beyond the reach of cell phone towers, gas lines, water, sewage, beyond hearing distance if I needed to shout for help should I topple over while climbing the cliffs to spy on golden eagles, or if I set a rattlesnake on edge while tramping through the untamed grasses. The physical isolation was a perfect match to my emotional isolation. By that I mean, for my entire life, I had left the person to contact in case of emergency spot blank. But the cottage was impractical. Besides being unsafe, I couldn't support myself there. For those reasons, it was only ever meant to be a way station. As soon as I assembled my nerves and my CV, I would go knocking on society's door. In a city, of course, or at least a town. I imagined a real job, friends, a social life, some culture. If that door opened just a crack, I would push my diploma through ahead of me. It was a Ph.D. in biology from Montana State, and perhaps not a monumental achievement, but I didn't have a proper high school degree. I had worked hard for that Ph.D., putting in time as a janitor. When the fox appeared, showing up every afternoon at 4:15, he was runty and needy and inconvenient, and he was mangy, which meant I would have to care for him, which threatened my plans to maintain the cottage as just a way station. Worse luck, he threatened my conviction, my doctoral training, my dogma that wild animals cannot have personalities. The story of the fox, 2 years on, is the story of my best friend. Yes, I know that when I told people my best friend was a fox, they could guess that my only friend was a fox. I won't deny that was true for a long time, or that I read to him every day from The Little Prince, and that we hiked together and played games, and that he helped me to eventually call the cottage my home, and also helped me learn how to set priorities for my future. What grew out of my interactions with Fox was the understanding that I needed to figure out my purpose in life. Then I could chase down a profession that wouldn't get in the way. Purpose should always come before profession. Before meeting Fox, I thought I had to define myself with a noun: doctor, professor, researcher, park ranger. He taught me that a verb was more meaningful. Writing, teaching, helping students, tending land, telling stories. I learned about the value and the cost of friendship, and that nature isn't a mother so much as a community. Like any wild animal, I would be defined by my habits and my habitat. I needed to choose them carefully. Before Fox, I was too timid, distrustful, and embarrassed to get close to people. I wanted to be invisible. My relationship with Fox left me with the courage and self-esteem to seek out and build friendships with people. Over time, pets become like their owners. Over time, I had become more like the fox.